What's good, my lovelies? Happy Monday. This video is a little later than normal, but you know, we got it in there. Tarragon says hello. Oh goodness, he wants to be Cuddlebug. He is exhausted, let me tell you guys. We went out and had some social time, so he made some new friends, just people friends, and saw his dad, the my friend that I got him from, right, that had the accidental litter. So yeah, he had social time and now he's tuckered out. So he'll chill here with me for this video. Hope you guys liked the last video. I got quite a few comments on it and they were just absolutely lovely. And I appreciate you guys very much taking the time to comment and to watch the video and to give me your feedback and everything. And the fact that it helped some of you guys, that really means a lot to me. So thank you. I do want to touch today on the inner child again. It's so important, and there's so much that we are scared to do or hold back from doing, or whatever the reason is. Some things in our adult life that stem from some situations or whatever that happened when we were younger, right, to our inner child. So I want to touch on that today and see if we can help with that subject just a little bit. I did take some notes just to feel like I'm not all over the place. You guys seem to have grasped what I said in my last video, but I feel like I'm all over the place sometimes when I'm talking. So thank you if you can roll with what I'm saying, but hopefully my notes will help today. So so speaking of the inner child stuff, one of the things I wanted to touch on was about our confidence as an adult. A lot of our confidence that is waning, is not there, is, you know, you might have confidence in some subjects or some things in your life, in your adult life, but you might lack in other areas. And I would almost guarantee that that has to do with something that happened in your childhood. It doesn't even have to be something that was super traumatic, right? Excuse me. Let me grab my coffee real fast without squishing my little boy's head. All right. Sorry. It might not have been, like I said, super traumatic. It could have been something that you overheard as a child. It could have been something on a TV show that you watched that, you know, maybe the mom or dad or whoever had an opinion and was saying that to the child in the TV show and you took that on. You know what I mean? So the point of it is to identify and to acknowledge in our childhood where something like that may have happened, to where it may be hindering us as an adult from expressing ourselves or doing what we want to do, going after our dreams, our, you know, our dream life, like dream career, whatever it is. It may be hindering you. So so you want to connect to your inner child for confidence, right? Let's say, here, let me see if I can have an example for you guys. All right, so what I want you to do is to sit down, and you can do this like whatever. It's not even going to take you very long, but it's very healing. Maybe once a week, maybe once a day, whatever, once a month, whatever you feel pulled to do to try to help heal this part and to bring out your true self and any repressed inner child feelings, emotions, actions that you, like I said, may have repressed from long ago or from not that long ago. So think back to when you were a kid. You might have to think on it. You might have 5 or 10 things that come up all at once, but anything that you were a child where maybe an adult or someone that you looked up to, respected, thought you were supposed to listen to, said, maybe you like to sing, right? Even if you were a good singer or a bad singer, you were a kid, it doesn't matter, right? You were just singing because your little heart wanted to sing. And maybe somebody told you to be quiet. Maybe somebody told you that you were, you know, interrupting whatever they were doing, that you were a nuisance, that you couldn't sing, or that singers, that's not a real job. You know, I've heard that as an artist. When are you going to get a real job? Stuff like that. So anything similar to that. It could be with singing. It could be with dancing. It could be with painting. any kind of creative thing, just playing in general, right? Maybe you had a really strict childhood and upbringing to where you were, you were very regimented and very on schedule with what you needed to do, and there was not a lot of time for play. You were made to grow up very young, very quickly, and have responsibilities way before you should have adult responsibilities, okay? And weren't able to actually be a child and just play and create and sing and dance and color and whatever you wanted to do, right? Go talk to trees, hang out with flowers and butterflies, any of that stuff. So there's I'm quite sure quick memories you could find where that happened. And you can even connect that to, like, say you're sitting down and you can't really think of anything, because I know that if there was some traumatic stuff that went on in our lives in our childhood, we block that out sometimes, right? So maybe nothing comes to you right away when you sit down and try to think of a situation or an event that happened to you when you were younger. So instead, reverse that. Think of now as an adult of something that you want to do, that you've been craving to do, but you've been scared to do, or you've been frozen to do, or you've been putting yourself down about it or not confident about doing, right? It could be modeling. It could be entering a pageant. It could be writing poems, getting up in front of an audience and speaking. It doesn't matter what it is. Find any fear that you have and trace it back, go backwards to the root of it, of where that may have come from. I'm quite sure if you can't find it coming from as a child and trying to think of the event or the situation or the day or whatever it was, that you could, as an adult, trace it back and figure out and think of, okay, I really fear this, but I want to do this. I really want to scuba dive, right? I want to go swimming in the ocean and with the fishes, but I'm very scared to do that. Is it because I think a big ass shark's gonna come eat me? Possibly. Maybe. But I also maybe could recall when I was 6 years old and maybe a great aunt of mine said, oh, you don't want to swim in the ocean, you're definitely gonna die, you're gonna drown, you're gonna, just put all the negativity on it, right? So made me fearful of something that I had dreamed to do. This didn't really happen, just as an example, but just had their opinion about it and put their opinion on me before I knew that my opinion even counted. And poof, it just killed that dream of mine of going and swimming with the fishes and seeing seahorses because of somebody else's fear that they put on me. Again, it can happen with a TV show. I've had that happen before. I can't think of any specific stuff right now, but I know in the past that it's happened to where I correlated that back to something I had watched, something that somebody not even in my life had said, or it was their opinion or the way that they lived, whatever. And once I acknowledged it and realized that's not how I believe, that's not truly what I think, or I'm not really scared of that, I don't agree with their view on it, it dissipated, it leaves, it goes away, okay? And you gain that confidence back. Your confidence will come back either little by little, depending on how much you delve into this, right? I know sometimes that when we hear this shit on YouTube videos or whatever, we roll our eyes and we're like, yeah, right. Like, come on with the dumb bullshit of sitting down and coloring or going to play or, singing my heart out with nobody here just because I love the song. Yeah, it might seem to some people stupid or minuscule, but guess what? Guess where that mindset comes from? Some repressed, angry asshole. It doesn't have to be, but somebody that was scared to live their true life, that put their shit on you. As a child, the things that they do and how free they truly are when you watch them, with the ones that aren't being stifled and suffocated with opinions of the adults around them or made to grow up too quickly. When you watch them and just see how freely they play and color, the stuff that they come up with, the creative things, sit down and talk with a child sometimes. Sometime if you don't have any kids, like I don't, but I love speaking with my niece and nephews. I love chatting with my friends' kids around me, and just having nice conversations with them and seeing how they look at the world and maybe reminding myself of that beautiful viewpoint, right? of something that we lose sometimes in growing up. I could think back to when I was a kid about even the way that I used to think differently, much more freely, even when I'm creating and coloring. I think I've talked about this before, but when I was a kid, I loved drawing houses, right? Houses, the little, no picket fence, but it had flowers, of course, in the little yard with the grass, little green stroked grass on point, of course. The front facing of the house, I would draw with that. Shit, maybe I did put a fence in there. I don't know. Birds, a dog, whatever it was. But let me tell you, when I learned how to do the side part of the house, right? You drew the front and then it gave it like that 3D, but you could see the side and the roof and all of that. Bro, you couldn't tell me shit about myself, let me tell you. And I used to draw that house and those flowers and that little scene every day. I didn't worry about who judged me about drawing the same shit every day. I didn't care if the house was straight or if there was, it was the right color or if the proportions were correct for the people I put in it, the color, the lighting was right. I didn't give a shit about none of that. I drew my fucking 3D house and my flowers and I was set. I had my little sunshine, probably a rainbow or two in the back, who knows. And I was just content with life. I could do that all day, every day in my room, and that was it. You can ask my mom, for real. It bothered me not to sit in my room by myself all day and draw that damn house. So think back to any of those times, you guys, when you were younger, when you were a teenager. I don't care when it was. It could have been fucking 3 years ago as an adult, where you remember that you just played in the rain and were singing your heart out with your best friend, or whatever it was. You wore an outfit that you never would have ever worn in front of schoolmates maybe, but that you wore a few months ago that made you feel spectacular. Now, hopefully you didn't let it bother you if somebody had some shit to say about your outfit, okay? If you feel confident in yourself and just joyous in what you're doing, what you're wearing, what your makeup's like, fuck what everybody else thinks, bro. Seriously, connect with your inner child again. And don't let the opinions of others ruin your life or slow down your life and living your truest dreams of what you want to do right now. I don't care how silly it seems, how irrelevant it seems. I guarantee you it is the most relevant thing you could do is to reconnect with your inner child, because your inner child, once recognized and listened to and loved and nurtured, truly knows you, right? Your true self, not your masked self that's out here trying to impress people or post shit for likes or look the cutest or have the best whatever. None of that truly matters. As a child, just living in your own world and creating and being full of fun and happiness and love, that none of that shit matters to you. So revert back to that, right? If you're living a life that's just, you dread waking up every day and doing, you got to change some shit, babe. You have to switch some shit up. That's going to make you really feel connected with yourself again. Your inner child might need to be saved, might need to be rescued. I spoke in a couple videos ago about how, and I have in other ones too, but how I'll sit with little versions of myself, whatever. It could be a 3-year-old version of myself that I remember something happens that hurt my feelings or that made me scared or whatever it was. It doesn't matter. I'll go back to that situation, and as my, you okay, baby? As my protective dragon queen adult self now, I go back into that situation like I am the big sister, I'm the parent, I'm the protector, I'm whatever, and I swoop in and I take control over that situation and I reclaim myself at that age and at that moment and in that situation. I comfort, nurture, love, hug, whatever that inner child version of me needs. Talk with them, listen to them, right? And then I have a little island, a paradise island that I've built for my inner child selves or any of my old versions of myself that I feel need a comfortable place to go, a safe place to go, because I'm the safe place. I can't put that on anybody else, right? to be my safe place, to be my savior, to be my whatever. There are people out there, of course, that are very loving and caring and protective of me, but I can't bet on that to be what I rely on, right? I have to do it for myself, and I have to be the safe space for myself. So I take these versions of me, and it could be, again, something that happened to me when I was 3, a certain situation. There could be 4 versions of my 3-year-old self on this paradise island that I take myself to, okay? Because any situation that I feel I need to go back into, it could be same age, it could be 2 days apart, it doesn't matter. You go to that situation and that particular feeling of what happened to you and heal it, nurture it, whatever you need to do. Ask your inner child in that situation what they want, and they will tell you. Trust me, they'll tell you if you're willing to listen. And then once you are listened to and connecting with your younger self and making sure that version of you is safe and in no more harm or danger, and fuck whoever tried to hurt them in that time, like, forgive that person too. Trust, I don't care what they did. You're not forgiving them. As I said in that other video, you're not forgiving them for them. You're doing it for yourself. So you're not carrying their anger and their bullshit into your energy into the next phase, right? Onto your paradise island that you have for your little selves. So I just love him. So yeah, that's why you need to forgive that shit in that situation. Whoever it is, it could be mom, dad, somebody that's very close to you, that's supposed to have cared for you, that's supposed to have protected you and nurtured you and listened to you, but didn't. That's their own shit that they have. That's their own inner child that's been damaged, that they have to go nurture and love and deal with, okay? That they've not. So don't keep that, cycle going by taking their anger on and now your anger too and passing it on to those around you, your children, just people around you. People can tell how you feel about yourself, about how you treat them and how you speak to them, okay? If you're a nasty, hateful person, trust you hate yourself and you need to go deal with that shit. So I don't think anybody here is. We match energies here and we're all living beings. Maybe a little too giving to others sometimes, and this is where we have to connect with ourselves and give back to ourselves for that. So yeah, it could be 3-4 different versions of my little tiny 3-year-old self, my 12-year-old self, whatever it is. Go back, take them to the island, set them free, and then they can do on the island whatever they wanted to do in that time that they maybe were kept from, and do it now. Like I said, pick one thing to where you felt like you were hushed or shut down or repressed or told that you didn't matter, that your dream is dumb, that you're not worthy. Ooh, I'm gonna sneeze, hold on. Oh, excuse me, bless me. Are you okay? I'm sorry. I knew I was gonna wake his ass up. Anyways. Yeah, so just pick one thing, you guys. Don't, overload yourself or overwhelm yourself or try to do too much at once. Be easy with yourself and gentle with yourself, which you've probably not gotten. Pick the first situation that comes up when you think about it as a child, or as I said, trace it backwards and think of something now that you're like, I would love to do that, but no way, I could never fucking do that. And figure out why you could never fucking do that, because that's not true. It's not a real thing. You can fucking do that, and you should go fucking do that, because your inner child is like, please, can we go play? Can we bungee jump? I ain't fucking bungee jumping. And that ain't no childhood shit. I just don't want to do that. But if it's something that you are dying to do, there's so much creative stuff up here that I want to do, and thank God my mom was very supportive with my artistic stuff, and I did always get to be my little weird gypsy, witchy, hippie artistic self. I love that about my mom for sure. So that was cool, but there are some other things that that I had to work through. I'm still working through. Trust me, sometimes I even get nervous and a little bit scared about making these videos, because there was some times as a child that I felt like I wasn't listened to, that I wasn't heard, that I'm just some weird invisible blip in the background, and like I really didn't matter. So I had to work through thinking that my words maybe mattered, you know what I mean? And that not to be scared or worried about being judged on here about what I'm saying. You know, if it helps you guys, and that's my goal. And if it doesn't, then you can move along and go to a different video that will help you. But don't come here and be rude or nasty, because trust, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work over here. So I do love and light, you know. I don't give out nasty energies. I don't wish anything bad upon anyone. You know what I mean? I hope that you have the day that you deserve, and that's it. So don't come on here with no bullshit. Anyways, a little protection coming in from myself for my younger self too, and my current self, obviously. Anyways, so yeah, if it helps, like I said, you guys, that's awesome. That's what I'm here for, and I just want to share it with you. Any experiences that I've had, true experiences of life, of what I've had to work through to get here. You know what I mean? I used to be 230 pounds, waking up, taking shots of whiskey, just really hating myself. You know what I mean? And I've come a long way with learning how to love myself and to listen to myself and pay attention to myself and my needs. I'm still working through it, but that's why I want to share this 2121 on the clock, as I said that. Super dope. But that's why I want to share this stuff with you guys. I'm not going to come here and tell you that I got 5 PhDs in some type of whatever. You know what I mean? I am an artist. I'm a free spirit. I like to create and just do. I do like to learn too, but the stuff that I'm bringing you is as a friend and as a fellow community person, you know, in this life, just trying to get through this shit together and to wake up loving life and loving what you do every day and loving yourself. So I just want you guys to have like the best lives ever and wake up loving, giving thanks for everything, and even the shit that you go through that's, you know, a bit of turmoil or a bit dramatic sometimes, things that we have to deal with as adults or as, you know, the paying bills and the societal stuff, all of that, you know, whatever. You know, we're doing that, we're getting through it, but anything I can help with and make your day brighter or lighten the load a little bit, that's really what I'm here for. So I hope that it helps you guys. Just connect with your inner child to regain some of that confidence and do it a little bit at a time. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. And I hope you have the most wonderful day. Give love to those around you. Oh, I do want to share something. It's a little off subject and a bit odd, right? But if you're here, you might have seen my other videos of when I had my pet butterfly Trooper. He passed away a few days ago. I had him for almost a month, taking care of him. Quite the characteristics and the, you know, he just really had a personality about him that was really cool. Putting him on flowers outside and knowing that he was ready to get on my fingers and go out there and drink from the flowers, it was just really cool. But I try to be kind to the littlest of beings around me the best I can. 2323. I'm not perfect at it. Confirmation. There's a couple creatures and tiny beings that it's hard for me to, I'm going to be honest with you, not smash with my shoe. Roaches, palmetto bugs being one of them, okay? And mosquitoes. I'm going to be honest. It's hard for me to give them much love. I don't like them around me. I just don't. Dirty and pesty, and I get bit the fuck up all the time. So I try to be as sweet as I can. Having said that, spiders don't really bother me, right? Those are about the only 2 things that I kill. Everything else I'm pretty chill with. I try to just live amongst, and that's fine. Today, I was cleaning my house and trying to organize a bit, and I've noticed, you know, I've got some spiders lingering here and there in my house that I've kind of let live, just let them be. They don't bother me. They stay in their tiny little corner, and it's what it is. They just don't bother me. You know, I can feel their little tiny lives and their energies, and it's fine. Within the last few weeks, I've kind of felt there's been a little too many, so I have evicted some spiders. I just put them in the little containers, and then I put them outside, right? So today as I was cleaning, I was doing that again. There were some spiders. I have my front door protective spiders. There's a few of them hanging out above my front door. They're just the little, they're not big, it doesn't matter, but they're not big, hairy, whatever. They're just little regular house spiders, whatever. Kind of like daddy long legs, but not, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyways, they don't bother me. I don't bother them. But I have to tell you guys this, so you know how important it is, energies and how you treat other beings on this earth, okay? And how much they're aware. Anyways, I'm cleaning. Spiders are up there. I was trying to get a couple of them to come down so I could trap them and put them outside, right, and evict them. Well, as I was doing that, to be honest, there's probably about 5 spiders above my door, right, that have been up there for a while. They chill up there. A couple of them are in the corner. When I vacuum, they run. I just let them run and go back up, and I don't bother them. One of the bigger spiders came down. If you're scared of spider stories, it's probably going to freak you out, but it was really cool to see as just a being and a human on this earth. One of the bigger spiders came down, right, dropped his little web thread, and so I caught him in midair in the container, and I put him outside. Did I catch the other one, or that was the other one? No, the other ones I don't think any of the other ones, I couldn't reach. They were all still up there, okay? I put him outside, shut the door. 5 or 10 minutes later, I go to maybe take Tarragon out or something. I had to go back out there for something. And I go outside, and I see this spider, the same spider that dropped down from the ceiling, trying to get back in the door. When I opened the door, he was trying to run back inside, you guys. I was like, oh my God, dude, like, I mean, like, that's his family up there, right? And I cut him off from the rest that was up there and threw him outside, whatever. He crawls up the door. I shut the door, right? I was watching him. He crawls up the door and sits in the corner trying to get up, you know, where the door seals, right? He was like up there, like trying to go up through to get up into the house. And he just sat up there in the corner. So I was like observing him. I went and did whatever I needed to do in the yard, take him out or whatever. I'm like, let me check him out. I go back over to the door. He's up in the corner of the door. His little legs are folded up like he's just sleeping or waiting or whatever, right? Well, I couldn't just fucking leave him separated from his family, could I? So what did I do with the evicted spider? I open the door, I let this one back in, and I tell the spider, come on. His little legs were still, you know, bent up or whatever, so I just kind of gently poked him. And what did he do? Crawled right back inside and went right back up with his family. You guys, come on. I had to let him back in. Like, that made me sad when I saw that. So, just a little testament of everybody needs our love and our understanding here. The more understanding and love you have for others, the more that you will receive in turn. And if you don't, just know that that's that person's problem and not yours. Okay? Don't take on their bullshit and their negative energy. So, I hope this video helps you guys. I'm going to chill with my tarragon some more. I appreciate you being here and rolling with me on a little later video. It's been a beautiful day. I love y'all, and I really wish you guys to have the most joyous life ever. And I'll see you next time, next Monday. Have a wonderful night. I love you. I'll see you then. Bye.